Many researchers have claimed and proven that some type of pressure is definitely required. It's not bad.
Right.
But extreme pressure for a longer period of time converts into maybe stress, which is then harmful. So how does army avoids this in situation that an officer, when posted in peacetime or some crucial locations, they don't the pressure is there, but it doesn't convert into stress.
Absolutely. The two things and you're absolutely right. Even I would say, as you said, pressure, when it gets internalized, creates individual stresses, right? Pressures on an organization, when it gets internalized, gets organizational stresses. A certain degree of both. I would even like to venture that a certain degree of stress is also necessary for the right performance. There has to be a certain degree of apprehension in your mind when you want to put, that's only then do you put your best foot forward. But if you internalize it in a manner wherein it starts affecting your health and performance, then it is now transitioned to the wrong zone. So there is a need to stop it as long as it is providing optimal benefit. So now the question is that how do you do that? How do you ensure that you respond positively to pressure without internalizing it in a negative manner? So the thing in this is actually, the first thing is habits. You need to have both in terms of individual and work habits. Your habits need to be extremely streamlined and may I use the word regimented, right? In every profession, there are going to be pressures. You require certain anchors in your life. Those anchors keep you stable, and the anchors tell you as to whether this thing needs to be taken beyond a certain level or not. So how do you do that? In every person's routine, there has to be certain constants. Environment changes, the pressures change, the company's requirement changes, the requirements in terms of various other challenges, the goalposts keep moving. But you're individually, there should be certain routines which should not change. For example, like my CEO himself said, he doesn't get enough sleep. There has to be a deliberate attempt to switch off from the pressures which your work or your life brings to me time, to ensure that you're spending enough time. One thing is certain: if you're not fit enough to handle pressure, or if you're not fit enough to handle stress, it is going to affect you far more adversely. So the only way to keep yourself fit enough to do that is to always have set routines. If my set routine is to have 1 hour of, let's say, your routine is meditation, that should be non-negotiable. It needs to be inviolable. You should ensure, come snow, come rain, come pressures, come company on the verge of collapsing, you don't deviate from that single routine which is keeping you grounded and which is ensuring your stability. That is the first aspect as far as individual habits go. But more importantly, your functional habits in terms of work are the ones which allow you to handle pressure right. For that, this whole issue of preparation, which you spoke about earlier. In the army, we are firm believers in preparing. We prepare long term. I know that if I have to conduct an operation on so and so day, I carry out enough amount of briefings, I carry out enough amount of equipment checks, I carry out enough amount of rehearsals, so that it brings in the confidence that however it goes, I should be able to handle it. In fact, the aspect of drills, I would like to highlight this, as far as the army goes. We function on battle drills. Now, let's say a patrol is going and it gets ambushed. You understand, it gets ambushed by a group of, let's say, the enemy soldiers or terrorists or anybody. Intuitively, when you are ambushed, what is the reaction? Is to run and hide somewhere. Am I right?
Panic.
Forget panic also. Let's say to save your life. Ultimately, when you're getting fired upon, you wish to save your life. So you run away from the source of danger.
Right.
That's the intuitive action.
Correct.
The army drill is you have to rush towards the source of fire.
Oh, okay.
That is the drill, that's a battle drill. So when the point of when a patrol gets ambushed, the patrol charges the ambush.
Oh, okay.
So because it's counterintuitive, it
You
is
have to
something which
practice it.
needs to be trained. You have to be trained on, and there are sound reasons why it is so. Because you're closing the gap fastest.
Right.
You are now putting the person who's ambushing under pressure because you're firing and closing in much faster.
Right.
Rather than running away, creating distance and giving him more time to pick you off, you are closing and you are assaulting that position of the ambush and preventing him from getting settled into it, and in fact putting the ambush party under pressure. So, but because it's counterintuitive, you need to rehearse it.
You need to rehearse it 100 times.
Because absolutely,
so that
because
it becomes
a
habit.
Yeah, and it becomes muscle memory.
Muscle memory. Exactly. So I think in pressure situations in the startup, let's say presenting to a client and something comes up, right? And how to respond. I think you have to practice it 100 times.
A number of times.
So
preparation is it's the one criteria which allows you to handle various situations. Now, in preparation, there is one thing which the army lays a lot of focus on. Now, the aspect of preparation we are aware of. I make a plan, I put people through it, I rehearse it. But one thing which the army focuses on is contingency planning. Because there is, there is a great German general who once stated that no plan survives contact with the enemy. Motke, it's called Motke the senior. So his statement was, no plan survives contact with the enemy. So that is a philosophy which everybody should go on. I may have a plan, but it will need to change. So it will need to get adapted. What can go wrong and what adaptation would I need to do?
Okay.
So when you carry out contingency planning, you're not surprised. What creates panic? When you're surprised. Right? So as long as you're not surprised and you're given it thought, you're given it certain, in your mind, you have created certain, okay, these are going to be my off ramps if this doesn't go right. These are the things I would be doing. It may not go exactly as per that, but you still have a framework. The framework denies or prevents panic from building. And when panic is prevented from building, you're able to calmly, if not fully calm, relatively calmly deal with that. That is exactly why contingency planning assumes so much of importance in army planning. You try and find and you try and identify what can go wrong, how can it go wrong, what would I need to do to overcome that. And then you go, once it has two things. One, you're prepared for it. And second, you go with a mindset of adaptability. You don't go with a rigid mindset that this will have to go like this, otherwise I'm sunk.
Correct.
So that is very important to deal with these kind of pressures and to deal with stress. So you go with adaptability.